What's going on, people? So real quick, right? Normally I save these little post-editing rambles or whatever for my behind-the-scenes things, but I already have other stuff for that. And this is something that I feel like needs to be addressed like up front and center, right? So here's the thing. The video that you just clicked on, whatever, that you may or may not be about to watch, it is not very good, right? And that's just my personal opinion. And a lot of that comes down to like the fact that, for one, by default, my speaking tone is not very loud, right? Because I'm just not a loud person. And if you've ever been to an outlet, you know that they are filled with some of the loudest music that you will ever find, right? So those two things, they just don't quite go together. And also, I'm very much used to not having to worry about what the camera's doing because there's pictures in front of it. So sometimes the recording was a little like not very good, right? And in some cases, mostly terrible. So take that for what it's worth, right? So if you want to still watch this, cool, sure, do whatever you want to do. But if you want to do something better with your time and walk away from this, I totally get it. What's going on, people? So I was on the Chilltown show last night and we were kind of talking about a bunch of different topics. And one of the ones that came up was, what would you like to see come back, and shoe buying and all that stuff. I forget how it was worded. It's clearly better than that. But either way, one of the things I brought up was outlets shopping and how it sucks now. And then I was thinking later, I was like, does it still suck? Like, I don't know. I haven't been in a little while, so I'm gonna go find out today. Will this be a good day or will it be a waste of my time? I'm thinking the latter, but we're gonna find out together. I've been kind of wondering what these were all about. I did like the last one. They were a little bouncy, a little too bouncy, and the fit was a little too big, but overall I liked it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to check out a pair of these. I mean, they're marked down a little bit, so there's that. Not a big fan of the all black. And this, some glitter going on. It's kind of cool. I mean, well, I'm not big on like the all white, but I'd probably wear this. As weird as that seems. A lot of other Ultra Boosts and stuff. I guess it's that season. Not bad. What's this? It's a Supernova. That's a new one. Kind of reminds me of some of the things that I saw like a while ago. They had like the boost on one side and then some kind of other foam on the other. Sportswear, fluid flow. So not running into that straight up outlet style things, I guess. Got my share of the slides already. Doesn't look terrible, but yeah, I have no use for most of this because I don't do any sports whatsoever. So I usually just look for things that I could wear to the gym or to concerts. Excuse me. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff that would... What is happening here? That's... Oh man, I do not like that. I was a big fan of the NMD, just never felt as good as like a normal Boost shoe or anything like that.
I was like, how you go from some crazy dynasty with the Seahawks to some, bro?
Color-wise, I am all about this right here. Kind of reminds me like the Storm Blues and things like that in a way. But good. It doesn't got enough of stuff like that. Didn't notice that they got like a high top version as well. Definitely not my style. I mean, I own high top shoes obviously, but I'm not a fan of them overall. Just prefer low.
was a pair of Air Max Pluses that had a little plaid action going on. Kind of cool. This reminds me of like those the Retro P9s, the E5s. But yeah, this, and I do like that. That's just something about the overall I'm not okay with. This looks like it'd be actually pretty comfortable. It's like no laces, so you can slip it on. It's really light. It's kind of like a Presto in a lot of ways. That is kind of elasticish, not a whole lot of stretch because of the lettering, but kind of cool though. And this one is, I could get behind something like that. Can't go leaving a mess in the store, you know? And then a bunch of whatever. So this. Oh no. I was thinking about getting these at some point, but I'm glad I didn't. Looking at them now, so we have these because these are everywhere nowadays for whatever reason. Denim and yeah, the Terrascape thing, not quite sure how to feel about that. I haven't tried a pair yet, but a lot of them just, like, they look okay in some ways, and then I look at it a little closer and I'm like, oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, can't go wrong with the Vapor Max Plus. Personal opinion, of course. Never get into these either. I don't know, like, they made some good colors. They just, overall, it's kind of like the NMD where just didn't get into it. I think this is 17? Yeah, 2017. It's one of the last yearly Air Max things they were doing by a year anyways. Because after that, they just started giving them actual numbers or names. Not bad though. I have a pair of, I think it's like maroon or something. Night maroon. I mean, they're not as nice as a lot of like the other Air Maxes that came along later or even before, but it's decent. Pegasus 38. One of these days, once I catch up on some things, I do need to just get back into trying out these Pegasus versions, because they've always done pretty well for me, especially like the trail versions. But I've never actually had I haven't had an actual running pair since the Turbo, like the 36 Turbo or whatever it was called. But those were really nice. I actually just wore them not too long ago. They're great for running, just not great for everyday wear, you know? Never had a pair of these. They were kind of dying down as I was getting into things, so, and then that's something. Let's see. That is also something. What's this? What's that? So, all in all, things are going about as expected, so that's sometimes it's cool to be right, but sometimes you would rather be wrong. Let's see. Quest. Need to pick up, going back to the Pegasus thing, need to probably pick up a pair for my dad, because he was really into some Lunar 3s or something like that I got him a while ago. And those are probably like one of the closest things in modern times. So I might have to pick up a pair for him, because I did give him the Cowboys pair last year for Christmas, but he's not going to run in those because, you know, he's a fan of them. He just wears them on game day or something. Not really sure, never really asked, never really cared. Just figured it puts a smile on his face so he can do whatever he wants after that. And so, what is this, the Freeze? I remember buying a pair of these back in 2006 for him on a trip to Toronto. Haven't touched a pair since, not because they wronged me or anything, it just kind of, at the time, I just wasn't buying stuff as regularly. So then you forget about it. And this, the Trail 3, this was one of my favorite things from, was it not last year, 2021? Yeah. And I have the Gore-Tex for it. Yeah, so they do have a newer version of these out now, so I haven't tried those yet, but it's on the list of things to do. And more nonsense. Let's see what's over here. Flux control. It's not a similar looking things, just in different price ranges, you know? Which is good if, again, like I was saying before, if when I'm looking for like a new pair of concert shoes or whatever, it's nice to have something that's kind of like that on the bottom, where it's good for standing and not too wobbly, you know, something more stable. Because I've gone in like certain Vapor Maxes and not really been a fan of it. Speaking of things I'm not a fan of, I'm not sure what's going on here. Cosmic Unity. It's got some, you know, like this, but I don't like that. Let's see. Okay, not sure what some of these are, but not really jumping out at me either. It's just a bunch of stuff. I like the way that looks down there. Almost looks like an air filter, but which is kind of weird, but it's intriguing. Around here, the 200, Air Max 200, which is something I have one of. Right? Yeah, I have a winter version because I buy a lot of winter shoes, even though it's completely unnecessary. So apparently I have come across the kids section, so I think I might be good. What's this? I was thinking, like, this doesn't look right. But I'm also not a fan of the sixes, so what is that? I think that might be it. Pretty sure it is. I'd say overall, this might be the nicest looking thing I've seen in here. And again, it's not my favorite model, but I just like the way they did the color and all. So there's that, another Air Max 2017. Alright, well that's helpful. Yeah, so it's supposed to, I guess later on at some point, be all rainy and stormy or whatever, because that's just kind of how things work around here. Trying to get out and do this all before that happens, obviously. And yeah, it looks like today's going to be a pretty nice day, but I don't know. This place can be kind of tricky. Alright, so in the Asics store. It's smaller than I thought it was or remember being or whatever. It's basically like a small bedroom almost, you know? Maybe like a large bedroom, but you know what I'm saying. So like walking around in there, I was like, I'm not gonna be walking and talking and all this stuff in here because it's like, you're like right next to you because it's just so small. But either way, there wasn't really much of anything in there to talk about. I just saw a couple older Kayanos that I wouldn't mind having, but I already have, what, 2 pairs of the 29s, I think it is. So I'm just gonna probably just close the book on that chapter. But they did have some nice Nimbuses, which is cool and all, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of how the Nimbuses work as far as like how squishy they are compared to how stable, I guess you'd say, the Kayanos are. So there is that. But yeah, overall, nothing in there worth talking about. Which is unfortunate because it's one of my favorite things, Asics. So like I was saying, yeah, it's a really nice day out. So hopefully it stays this way. But I don't know, like, because there have been times like this where it looks like this before for all day. And then all of a sudden, like, there's storm and rain clouds just come in out of nowhere, and then everything just sucks. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but at least in the moment, I can enjoy it, I suppose, right? You know, I always feel kind of like weird about taking pictures and videos and stuff over water like that, because, you know, I'm not the kind of guy that can swim, you know, so if the phone goes down, it's like, that's it, right? Some people, oh, no, not that deep, I'll jump in and get it. Nope, to me, all hope is lost. I just gotta move on, which sucks. This thing did not come cheap, you know what I'm saying? So it's been a while since I did one of these, and I figured, you know what? Let's go back to something that I wore on the one other time I did one of these, which was the Vapor Max 2019. I don't think it was the same color. Pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was like a gray, triple black sort of thing. The label is triple black, but really just gray. So yeah, this is the throwback future one because it made sense for the day. But either way, there's that in case anybody was curious. But here's the thing though. Like I was saying, this was not looking like it was going to be worth my time. And in the end it wasn't, right? You know, just to kind of sum that up for you. But at the end of the day, they had some decent stuff in there. It's just that was it worth the trip? No. Was there some stuff that I could see wanting maybe? Kind of. So yeah, the outlet thing, it's still not quite worth it, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, it is kind of good because I used to spend a lot of money getting these random purchases out of like outlets and stuff. So now that that's not happening, I'm kind of okay with it. But you know, it's one of those things where like it was a nice option to fall back on, you know? Either way, so that's going to be it for me. Have a nice rest of your day, rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll be back talking about other stuff relatively soon because I'm going to go home and record some other stuff.